We just had a week off for this, so had a little bit of a rest.
Okay. We'll be back here after the commercial. You're going to see Live and Let Die from Guns N' Roses, and of course Midlife Crisis from Faith No More, who is also playing on the show, both bands with Metallica. And we'll be back with Guns and Metallica. Unleashing the Monster continues.
Hey, I found a quarter.
It's mine.
Good luck. Quarter anyone? Anyone need a quarter?
What year is it?
We're going to mention you, Vinny.
Vincenzo Giordano.
Okay, what are we going into? Metallica 1?
We're going 3, 2.
We're back at Washington.
We're going 3, 2.
Back at RFK in Washington, D.C. I'm Rudy Rackman with James and Kirk from Metallica. And you just saw Guns N' Roses, Patience, one of the other bands that's on this mega tour. Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and Faith No More. Very amazing show. I mean, I can't remember a show this big. This is one definitely for the fans, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You laughing about that? Yeah, we're doing it for the kids.
I'll be there.
One thing I wanted to say, you got like these guys right over there that have been like following you around for
Get away from us.
For about a year or so.
No.
It's been even longer than that. It's been 2 years. They started when we were in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
They've been around this entire time, and I'm sick of them.
And so what is this going to be for? Some sort of home video? Or?
Yeah, we're probably gonna put a bunch of this together and then probably throw it away after we look at it. And we're gonna put it out in some kind of home video form, just to kind of show us really how boring we really are.
Now, was there a time that you, I mean, back a couple of records ago, you guys really didn't think you were ever really going to do videos, did you?
No.
I mean, one was the first video, and now you guys are... That was Metallica 1, the jammin' version, or as you put it, the even
Sadder version.
Now we're talking about this tour that's going on. Now, how long does this tour go on, the Metallica Guns N' Roses Faith No More?
But it's about 8 weeks or so, and then we take a week off, and we continue with the Metallica tour, which goes on through February next year, February, March next year.
One thing that I thought was kind of interesting, I know a lot of shows are like back to back. Now, how do you do it? Because these stages, the setup here is amazing. I mean, do you have another stage being set up at the other arena?
Yeah, as soon as we're done, we drive to the next place and start setting stuff up ourselves.
So it's like the crew guys are just going nuts, right?
No, they stay and tear this one down. We put up the other one.
Oh, so there are 2 different stages, right?
The four of us.
It's just
set up
guys.
our part.
Yeah, just, you know.
I think the basic structure, I think they have a second one, but I'm not sure. I don't work here, man.
I'm not the guy you asked. Anyway, we'll be back with Guns N' Roses and Metallica when Guns N' Metallica Unleashing the Monster continues. So stick around. We'll try to.
St. Bart's, man.
You thought about it? Sell it back to Pusshead.
And drape it over my house.
Yeah, and no kids will know you live there either. It's like,
Doesn't matter, they all know I live there anyway.
open up your
my
moment.
front door last night. Kid wanted me to send him an autograph. Yeah, right.
Shit.
Send him a
I don't
bomb.
live here, you bastard.
Wire up the door.
Yeah, Adam's having
Going into
This is
this?
the last performance of the half hour.
Okay, we're going into this. Okay.
Hey!
Okay, guys.
So Ricky,
You're
what made
supposed
you
to
want
turn around the other way.
Oh fuck!
You're supposed
you, you know it's nothing but a prop anyway.
Well, introduce us, man.
Fuck
are we?
Ricky Rackman from
You're supposed to hold the mic to your face when you say that shit.
Ricky Rackman
No, you're
from
no.
I figured that out.
Ricky Richard from MTV.
Or
There he
Dick. You
is.
could say Dick.
So Richard, what made you want to pursue a career in
Total out of control
Broadcasting.
Is
metal.
that what it is? Is that what it is?
What-
Is it
whatever
a
the
career in
hell it is.
broadcasting? It's like you get into
How much do you
shows
get
for
paid?
free.
Come on, give
How'd
us
you
a
get
shirt.
the fucking job, man?
You get laid a lot.
Why do you have so many tattoos,
Whenever
man?
what
Are
I
you
do
so
is the
metal?
whole idea
You
is
get
to
it
go to the
close
shows and when you my own idea. It's the whole idea is when you go to the
Told himself. Do you know Pauly Shore personally?
You had anal sex with
I
him?
can't say anything on camera about him.
Don't worry,
Can I?
we don't want you to.
No, I can't say anything. No, this is going real.
Buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, Richard, say something
You
to
guys
the
can
camera.
dog. You guys can dog, and I won't stop you.
Come on, Richard, say something to the camera.
What's your favorite total metal video?
Oh, I don't know. There's just so many.
Whose ass have you been furthest up lately?
I'm just looking at this kind of stuff we're saying.
Yeah, you're a video star.
This is more different than
Yeah, what videos
You know what?
have
I
you
know
been
this
in?
is,
Yeah.
this is gonna
How
look
many
like,
videos
This
have you
is
been
gonna
in?
look like one, and this is gonna look like the whole. Like somebody said before, they said, you know what? You're gonna end up looking like Kevin Costner looked in Truth or Dare. You're gonna be like the butt of somebody's really bad
do you-
joke.
so do you-
You're
do
gonna
you
watch a Metallica video and you're
What
gonna
would you
say-
think of the
And
show?
you're gonna say about what show?
Neat.
That's what I said. They said, yeah,
So
well,
do
that
you-
was a Metallica show. It was really neat.
So do you think musicians are really like good friends?
Magicians.
Musicians
Magicians
are good friends
make
with you,
people
or do they
disappear
just
anyway.
or do they just kiss up to you because of your position?
None of them kiss up to me. None of them are good friends with me.
It's the other way around.
Good question.
Good
Good answer.
Good answer.
It's over, man.
It's over? Okay, goodbye. Happens.
Dumb. Okay. Okay. Thing that I kind of dig a lot about Metallica, even before I did all this the MTV stuff and shit like that. Most of the stuff that I was listening to when I went to school in like the late 70s and the 80s, I was listening to a lot of the early punk stuff, like a lot of the English stuff, like Angelic Upstarts and Sham and stuff like that. And Metallica had the same kind of like power and energy, and it did make you move, whether you wanted to or not. It was great. And first time I met James, I remember it was at Cat House, and he was there with Glenn Danzig. I thought he was a real dick. Then I met him a couple times, and now that I know him, he's a dick. And actually, the second time I met Lars, but actually, yeah, they're still dicks, but Metallica is probably one of the best live metal bands I've ever seen. As a matter of fact, when I decided to do radio, I've always said, people see me on TV once in a while saying, oh, my favorite band's this or my favorite band's that, but I've always said that my favorite song in my entire life has been Seek and Destroy. And when I decided to get into radio, I had my own radio show, and I wanted the first song I ever played on the radio ever to be Seek and Destroy. And whenever I've gone into different states and done radio shows, granted, the first show I've always played is Seek and Destroy, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't look at that song as a metal song. It's just like, it's a great rock song. I mean, it seems like it's got a little punk in it. It's got a lot of aggression. That's my Metallica story. Blah! Okay, one of the things I think that attracted me to Metallica first was, even before I was doing MTV or any of that stuff, you know, I'd love to say that when I went to school, I was listening to Sabbath and Iron Maiden and Priest, and I'm the like big metal guy. But in fact, when I grew up and I was going to school, I was listening to stuff like Sham 69, Angelic Upstarts, and Cockney Rejects, and kind of a lot of the punk stuff is what I was listening to when I went to school. But when I first got turned on to Metallica, I never saw Metallica in the early club days. First time I heard Metallica was when Kill 'Em All came out, and it blew me away because it was a metal band, but it still had that same energy, and it had a lot of like punk feeling to it. It was just heavy. I hate using that word heavy because everybody uses it, but it was heavy. There's no other word to use it. And then I remember the first time that I met James, it was over at the Cat House in Hollywood, and he came in with Glenn Danzig, who I know. And so I was like kind of stoked. I was like, oh, right on, where's James? And so I went up, and he was a dick. Met him a couple other times, still was a dick, but actually they're pretty cool, and they're good guys. And I think one of the other things that people dig about Metallica is, like, if you're a rock fan, you know, I'm not in a band, I always wanted to be in a band, but if you're a kid out there and you look up at Metallica, you don't see some glitzy people with stage costumes and shit like that. You see a guy in jean and t-shirts that wear clothes that we all wear, and that's what I think attracts a lot of us to Metallica. When I decided to start doing radio, I wanted a song. When I did radio, it was like I got to play a lot of music I wanted to play. So I decided the first song that I wanted to play when I started doing radio was Seek and Destroy, because it's my all-time #1 favorite song ever my whole life. If you see me on the street and you say, Ricky, what's your favorite song? I will always say Seek and Destroy by Metallica. So when I started doing radio, the first song I ever played was Seek and Destroy. And anytime I go into a different state, if I'll go to Arizona or Colorado or, you know, Albuquerque or whatever, and I'll do radio shows sometimes, and I always say the first song when I go on is to play Seek and Destroy, because that is the most killer Metallica song. That was actually the song that I think just totally turned me on to Metallica. And it makes it easier for me because, you know, being on MTV and doing Headbangers Ball, I don't get to pick any of the videos, and a lot of the times, you know, I have to intro some really shitty videos, and because of the success of Metallica, it makes heavier bands and bands like Metallica and that type of genre, rock and roll, sort of accessible. So I get to play bands that I like heavier stuff like Metallica, instead of playing bands that, you know, Firehouse or Steel Heart or stuff like that. There's my Metallica story. Hope you enjoyed it.
You still rolling it?
Oh, you want me to come back?
Yeah, we're grassy.
Okay.
Just, where did you go to school and listen to all this stuff?
When I grew up, I lived in the Hollywood Hills, and I grew up in parts of the San Fernando Valley, Jamaica. When I went to elementary school, I went to Pacoima Elementary School. I was the only white kid, got in a fight. I mean, there was one other white kid, I got in a fight with him. And, but I grew up in the Valley and lived in the Hollywood, oh, is it done?
Yeah, roll. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry. And lived in the Hollywood, oh, is it done?
Yeah, roll. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Now I'm having fun. I got to drive one a minute ago. You
Hey,
missed
man,
it.
you're not MTV.
Yeah, but
Get these people out of here.
We're LTV.
You know what?
CTV.
I think you guys got enough of this fucking documentary, okay? You know what I mean? I mean, you're almost done with it and you're still filming.
I'm sorry.
Okay, good answer.
What's up, man?
What's the word?
What are we doing?
Well,
Which one of these 12 cameras should I talk to? Huh?
So,
did you get in here today?
Yeah.
Are you going out?